So good morning, everybody, or in fact, good afternoon or good evening. I'm tuning in from a very rainy Newcastle today. Welcome to BBE 2021, the first of what we hope will become an annual event in your calendar. So my name is Martyn DadeRobertson. I'm the Professor of Emerging Technology at Newcastle University, and I am also the co-director of the Hub for Biotechnology in the Built Environment. And I can pass over to my colleague, Gary, to introduce himself.
Hello there, everybody. And my name is Gary Black. I'm a Professor of Protein Biochemistry at Northumbria University and the other co-director of the Hub for Biotechnology in the Built Environment. Okay, so who are we? We are the Hub for Biotechnology in the Built Environment, as indicated. So next slide, Martyn. And the vision of the Hub is to develop biotechnologies to create a new generation of living buildings, which are responsible and responsive to their natural environment, grown using living engineered materials to reduce inefficient industrial construction processes, metabolize their own waste, reducing pollution, generating energy and high-value products, and modulate their microbiome to benefit human and ecological health and well-being.
So to summarize what we're about, we're interested in designing buildings that are life-sustaining and sustained by life. So the HBBE, the center that Gary and I belong to, is a cross-institutional initiative between Newcastle University and Northumbria University. We believe we're the first research center of its type, and we bring together biological scientists, engineers, and designers under not exactly one roof, although we are very close to one another, but into one research infrastructure. And we think we're unique not only in our themes, but also in the way in which we're forging this kind of cross-institutional collaboration. We're split into 4 themes: building metabolisms, living construction, microbial environments, and responsible interactions. And you'll see how those 4 themes have organized the presentations and the events that you're going to see over the next couple of days.
So a few facts and figures about the Hub for Biotechnology in the Built Environment. It is a strategic investment from Research England, a British Research Council, a particular call called the Expanding Excellence in England call. And as Martyn has said, it's a partnership between Newcastle University and Northumbria University, which are both in the city of Newcastle upon Tyne. Currently, we have 60+ people associated, members of the Hub. They are staff and PhD students. Staff range from principal investigators to fellows, which are permanent positions, and professional support staff. And of that £8 million investment, we've used 2.7 million of it to create 5 integrated research facilities. We at Northumbria University have an omics facility, which is a state-of-the-art facility with instruments that are useful for proteomics, genomics, and metabolomics research. And we also have the macro and micro bio design labs, which is the location for the majority of the people associated with the Hub. We also have the digital fabrication lab and the experimental house, which we call the OM.
Yeah, and so to say about those facilities, the idea is that what they constitute is the capability of us to make technology at every possible scale. So from nano molecular biology, genetic engineering, through to microbiology, growing and utilizing microbes for a whole range of different functional outcomes, to then scale up using digital fabrication to make building components and building parts, and then ultimately to scale that up to a house, to challenge ourselves to scale up this technology to the house. And so our facilities are quite carefully planned to lead up to this. And so the pinnacle really for us is our experimental house. Now, if this were a real life conference as opposed to another YouTube Zoom conference, one of the things we would be doing today, I have no doubt, is showing you around our experimental house. It has just been completed. You'll be hearing a lot more about it actually on Friday, where I think Ben and Ruth will be introducing it. But it's completed now. We've started to occupy it and use it. It is essentially a framework, a blank canvas that we can use to implement, to demonstrate, and to test our new technologies, and we're really excited. It is on a very prominent position within the Newcastle University campus, just behind the Great North Museum, which is a major national museum. So we're very excited by that possibility. The house brings together really all of the themes of the Hub for Biotechnology in the built environment. So when we talk about biotechnologies, we often talk about different sorts of home, from the genome, the sum total of genes within cells, the proteome, the sum total of proteins within a cell, and the metabolome, the biome, the idea of the biological, the sum total of the biology that is around us, part of us, and then of course the home. And the home contains a sort of domestic center, a flat, if you like, where we can do microbial experiments and we can test out on new technology. So we're very excited. We wish we could show you around that live, but we have some exciting opportunities to experience that virtually, and there'll be more of that on Friday.
Okay, so why this summit? Why this conference, BBE 2021? Next slide, Martyn. So the Hub for Biotechnology in the Built Environment was funded for 3 years. Actually, we got an extension for 8 months because of COVID. And we started in August 2019. And as you've seen, and as we've discussed, we're building a new research center and facilities, and that is virtually complete now. We have our laboratories, we have our home. But what we still need to develop is our new discipline of biotechnology in the built environment. And this summit is very much part of us developing this new discipline. And our hope is that we'll grow the summit in 2022 and 2023 into an international conference where we have calls for abstracts and posters and papers, etc. Next slide, Martyn.
Yeah, so I think it's worth saying that, so when we put the original grant application together, it wasn't only about building a research centre in Newcastle, it was about providing a hub, hence the term hub, to allow other people internationally to collaborate and to be part of what we see as an emerging discipline. So whilst biotechnology for the built environment we think is relatively new, there are lots of people working in this area, and you're going to hear from a number of them over the next few days. And we felt that our role then is to facilitate others' research as well as facilitating our own. So what we decided for the first year, and as Gary indicated, because of various world events that have been going on, we didn't have this event last year. We ran something a little bit lower key alongside the Biodesign Challenge, actually. We decided to do it this year virtually, but to kick off really with a combination of speakers from the HBBE, so our fellows, PhD students, postdocs, and our PIs. But that we'd also invite what we've called inspirational and international speakers from around the world. What we did is to put essentially a poll through the HBBE to put together a list of the people who are the sort of dream team presenters. And so these are the people that you'll be hearing from over the next 4 days. The idea, though, of this year is to set the agenda for future years. And our hope is that this BBE event, by the time it becomes BBE 2022, BBE 2023, it will become a proper international conference, and we will invite papers and design works from all over the world to apply in a much more traditional, at least a much more recognizable conference structure. So that's our aspiration, and we hope that we'll set the agenda for that over the next 4 days.
Okay, so what can you expect from the next 4 days? Well, at BBE 2021, well, you can expect lots of talks and interactions. And there, as Martyn has indicated, will be structured around our 4 research themes and curated by those theme leads. So today you will be introduced to microbial environments theme, and that will be chaired by Darren Smith. Tomorrow you'll be introduced to the living construction theme talks, and that will be chaired by Martyn and Meng Jiang. On Thursday, you'll be introduced to the building metabolism talks, and that will be chaired by myself. And on Friday, you'll be introduced to the responsible interaction talks, and that'll be chaired by Ruth Morrow, Ben Bridgens, and Carmen McLeod. Next slide, Martyn.
Yeah, so just to say there that you'll see that we've organized the event around the 4 core themes that structure the HBBE really, but you'll see a lot of interaction and overlaps between those themes, hopefully over the next few days as well. So I suppose the first thing to say is that I think that most of the people who are watching this on YouTube or indeed those of us in the Zoom call are very familiar with this format of presentation now. It's become something that we've gotten used to over the years. It is liable for technical challenges. We're dealing with multiple different internet connections, different sharing strategies, all kinds of different types of presentation. So do bear with us if there are technical faults as we go along, and there might well be. Bear with us. We're on top of it. We've done a lot of practice, and Peter Stahl, who's sitting behind the scenes here, is doing an awful lot of work to get everything going, including a whole host of volunteers as well who'll be monitoring things and checking that things go all right. But we might have some challenges. If we do, apologies in advance and bear with us. So most of you are viewing this via YouTube. This is just the easiest way for us to do it rather than having everyone in a Zoom call. It also means that we get a kind of free recording that we can put up on the site afterwards. And so all of the speeches that you'll hear will be recorded and will be there for archived there for you to refer to afterwards. We also really want people to engage with us during the course of the event. And so the way we're doing that is to encourage people to use the YouTube chat function during presentations. If you've got questions that you want to ask the presenters, then pop them into YouTube chat. We have a team of curators who will be then copying and putting that into the Q&A section of Zoom. So that means that for those of us who are hosting those sessions, when the presentations are finished, we can then refer to those questions and relay those questions into the presenters. And you'll see different styles of how we're doing that, but we're really keen that people do engage with the chat as much as possible. And if we can't cover all the questions all the way through, we're going to try and record and ask the presenters to maybe answer some of those through text as well. So we're going to keep on top of that. Of course, there are lots of ways that you can also engage with us through social media. If you can use the hashtag BBE21, that will mean that we can collate everything and all this stuff can be collected together. We also have a Twitter and our Instagram handle, bio_buildings. Please do subscribe to our channels and keep an eye on things there. We'll be live updating those as the event goes on. And I'm assuming you're already on the HBBE YouTube channel, but just to say that if you search for HBBE on the YouTube channel, you'll also find a back catalogue of presentations from previous events that we've run, as well as some showcases of the work, and that gets updated all the time. We're doing quite a lot of material there, so please do subscribe to that and you'll get updates. We're expecting the videos from this event to be uploaded. We're hoping to catalogue them, to organise them properly and then upload them over the next month or so. And you can also go to our website. So the website is the hub for everything. So bbe.ac.uk is a place to go. You can find links to our social media channels, and you can also get links to the timetable for the next few days, links to various different resources, the biographies of the speakers, and so on. So do go there. You can also explore our work. We keep a relatively up-to-date blog that showcases some of the projects that you're going to hear about and gives you a little bit more detail and links to the relevant work there. So please do visit our website during the event and keep an eye on things afterwards as well if you're interested.
So we also just want to highlight that every lunchtime during the 4 days, we will have poster sessions showcasing the work of our research associates and PhD students within the hub. You should have received a link, hopefully, to the Miro boards, and there are Zoom links in those Miro boards to speak to individual students, which will be next to their posters. Now, it is important that with the Zoom links that you need to right-click and copy those Zoom links into a browser to access the Zoom chat rooms.
Yeah, for some reason we discovered this morning that wasn't working very well. So if you copy and paste the text into a browser, that works. If you click on the link, for some reason it doesn't do. But do get in touch with us if you're having any trouble there.
Next slide. Good. We're also recruiting. We just wanted to take this opportunity to tell everybody that we're recruiting. So at the moment, we have a PhD position at Newcastle University under the supervision of Martyn. The deadline for that's 8th of August, and it's around forming bioelectronics and ecology. At Northumbria University, we currently have 2 research associate positions, microbiology, molecular biology type posts. One of them is already advertised, and one will be advertised very shortly. Also, in addition, we have another PhD studentship at Northumbria in collaboration with P&G around sustainable detergents. Okay.
So just to say that it's worth signing up to our Twitter accounts, because we advertise a lot of these via the Twitter account. So if you're interested in possibly postdoctoral and PhD opportunities, they do come up from time to time. We're expanding quite rapidly, so it's well worth signing up for those. And if you go to the bbe.ac.uk website, there's also a sign up sheet as well. Once you're on that, you get access to our newsletter, and also we tend to put out adverts to people who are interested as well for PhD positions and researcher positions as well. So that brings us to the end of the introduction. Thank you very much for joining us. And yeah, Gary, I don't know whether you have anything more to say.
No, just enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the 4 days.